Hey there, Erik Voss and the new Rockstars Blue Dungeon here, and we got a Mandalorian Season 2 trailer. Yes, content! And because I live on the West Coast and like to sleep in a little bit, I truly got to wake up to this little surprise. So, of course, I'm gonna spend all day today breaking down this thing frame by frame, you know, the way new Rockstars normally does. But for right now, you are going to get to see a true, raw, first-time reaction to this. And that's not to say the reactions I did to the Batman trailer and the Dune trailer weren't. It's just I'm still waking up and I'm feeling a little raw. Here we go. Ooh. The Razor Crest looks damaged. Why is the hangar bay open? Uh-oh. That's not good. Is that didgeridoo?
Safety deemed such destruction. You must reunite it with its own
I
kind.
like this.
Where?
This you must determine. The songs of eons past tell of battles between Mandalore the Great and an order of sorcerers called Jedi.
Is that?
You
Oh,
expect
it's
me to
not.
search the galaxy and deliver this creature to a race of enemy sorcerers?
I'm gone.
This is the way.
This is the way. All right. Look at this. Ooh, it's the Yellow Squadron. I don't want to take a sip.
You know this is no place for a child.
Where I go, he goes.
So I've heard.
Nope. Nope. Bye.
This is the way.
This is the way. Mmm. Hear that flute? Wow. Okay, I'm loving it. That's great. I was totally gonna do the thing where I take a sip and spit it out, but I'm not gonna fake it for you guys. Also, I have lots of electrical equipment here that would not be safe. All right, I gotta put down the mug to talk about this. This was looking real good. One thing we loved about Mandalorian Season 1 is how grounded of a street view this was of the Star Wars universe. And you know that the people who worked on the prequels, like Dave Filoni, totally wanted to explore that more, which they got to do a bit in Clone Wars and in Rebels, but now they get to do it in live action, build these beautiful worlds with this interesting VFX setup that they use for The Mandalorian. We're seeing lamplit streets, we're seeing like oceans and ports, which is something we only got a little bit of in the prequels. I know there was that amphibious invasion in Kashyyyk and Revenge of the Sith. On the street levels of Coruscant, it felt kind of moody nighttime like that sometimes. But all this looks practical and tactile, which is a bit ironic because using the screen the way they do, a lot of it is VFX. Really, it looks like it's picking up where the first season left off. We're following Mando Din Djarin, taking the child, Baby Yoda, and trying to track down the Jedi to return him to these evil sorcerers. Not evil, I know, there's just not a lot of them, and hopefully we do get to see the more clouded view of the Jedi's morality that the Clone Wars did a really good job exploring. Now, again, I'm gonna go through this more frame by frame in the details, but already I just want to point out a couple things to you that stood out to me as I was reacting to it. Okay, so first we gotta talk about this mystery hooded woman. At first I was like, oh, is this our Rosario Dawson, Ahsoka Tano? But I don't think that's Ahsoka. That hood would be way more bulkier going over Ahsoka's head. I'm thinking this could be Sabine Wren. She's the Mandalorian revolutionary who would be with Ahsoka, so Ahsoka may be behind the other crate there. We're also seeing some of this port city, this water planet. You do see some Mon Calamari in the background there. So is this Mon Cala? I don't know. Might be too soon to tell. There's probably a lot of ocean-covered planets in the Star Wars universe. But the most interesting location I've seen is this snow-covered planet. And this looks super familiar to me, but for a couple reasons. First, there's a shot of Baby Yoda in this like puffy snow that reminded me a lot of that snow-covered planet in the final shot of the Clone Wars Wars animated series. You know, this is a planet where Ahsoka Tano buried all the clone troopers that were part of her group. And there was that great final moment where Vader found this planet, found these helmets, looked up, saw the bird, remembered Ahsoka. He's clearly tracking her down, and maybe the Mandalorian is following in the footsteps of that investigation, that search. But the real reason it looks super familiar to me is this trench, this ice cave that Mando appears to be going into. That looks a lot like ILUM. That's the ice planet from Jedi Fallen Order, where the Crystal Cave was. This is where the Jedi might be hiding. ILUM is the same planet that was later turned into Starkiller Base. If you have a question about the timeline here, yes, the First Order would have been terraforming this base already, but the trench, I'm pretty sure, was already there. And this also could be showing us the origin of the First Order's operations. So this one shot right here might be tying in, of course, the Mandalorian with Jedi Fallen Order, with the sequel trilogy in the First Order, and the Jedi. It's a very interesting location. I am hoping this is ILUM. And we see this fighting ring with some Gamorreans going at it. I am loving all those flags there. It kind of reminds me of Maz Kanata's hideout in The Force Awakens, as she had all those pod racer flags hanging out outside in the courtyard. But I'm assuming these banners are for different past champions of this ring. And of course, I do love the way Baby Yoda just kind of nopes out of that fight. Poor little guy has seen so much conflict. I mean, look, let's be honest. It's not like this little thing's afraid to see conflict and destroy shit. And yes, he's not a baby. He's like over 50 years old. So clearly you could just imagine this as like an old man in a nearby saloon closing the shutters. No, I don't want no trouble here. But also because he's powerful, he knows that he could just choke someone if he gets too close to my sarsaparilla. Like, I'm just going to say everything that I loved about Mandalorian Season 1, Season 2 seems to be doing. Grounded realism of the world, the relationship between Mando and the child, all the tech being broken and dirty. This is the Star Wars that I believe George Lucas really conceived of with the very first 1977 Star Wars, and that's one that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau seem to be exploring and pulling on the thread of. In fact, I love how in the interview last week, Jon Favreau was like, hey, I keep pitching ideas to Dave Filoni, and Dave Filoni's like, you can't do that in Star Wars. Like, he wanted to use the term a dime a dozen, and Dave Filoni's like, we don't have dimes in this universe. But I think that kind of conversation is what makes The Mandalorian great. Kind of an ebb and flow between the world building and the grounding and realism. But yeah, I'm gonna stop talking now so I can go through this frame by frame to find all the details that I missed just now and that you might have missed. That video is going to be coming out tomorrow. So be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get that video right when it comes out. Follow me on Instagram at EA Voss. Follow New Rockstars. Thanks for watching, and just so I can say that I did it, here we go.